Hello and welcome to a trip through January 2025 in my bullet journal, seeing what we can glean from the first month of the year. Hello, I'm Blythe Stevens, a Blythe Coach, Bliss Catalyst, and I help multi-passionate creatives take leaps of faith. Here we are looking at a very transparent look at January 2025, some of the main goals that I had set out to accomplish, as well as things that occurred along the way. And my general theme of the month was gentle beginnings. I wish to complete a reflection on the week before, or the month before, December, as a blog and in my bullet journal as well. I wanted to also write a reflection on the entire year of 2024, but that did not get completed. I did work along on that, but it wasn't something that I finished that month. Nor did I publish or declare my word of the year for 2025. I had chosen a word, float, and there's more on that here on the channel and on my blog. But I was to share about that a little bit later, keeping with that gentle beginnings theme, because I did accomplish some things setting up for 2025. My annual book bullet journal set up. For the most part, all of my projects and declarations got all set up and I started tracking those. I was teaching and learning new content in the area of ballet, a couple of new grades now that my students passed their ballet exam. I get to learn some new exercises and dances and continue to support my students in that curriculum, as well as choreography for upcoming shows. In terms of my own dancing, I did complete a review, a recap of my Dance Daily December project, in which I posted brief dance clips every day last December. Both Ayla and I returned to learning tango, and I did create categories for all of my blog articles for the first time. So now each one falls into one or more of those categories. And if you yourself are interested in one category more than another, then that will be easier to find as you explore the various articles on the blog, especially now that there are quite a lot of them, publishing about weekly for some, 5 years now? 5 years since I've had the YouTube channel, and also shortly thereafter, or was it before, also the podcast and my blog, which has continued to be a place where I create consistently. A highlight of January was also making travel arrangements to go to the US. And I noted here that for many, the new year actually starts in February. And nonetheless, this was a big month for me with teaching, with events, and not all of which are listed here yet in highlights. I like to see what I glean as I look in real time through what I've noted down as highlights and events of the weeks and of the month as a whole. I go back through my daily logs as well, but it's a sort of not a linear process. I'll go back and look, check to see that I've got everything, take a look at what I recorded, flip back through here. And I really enjoy that process of getting to see from different standpoints with different lenses, sort of different ways of capture, as well as in my Evernote as far as digital. That here we're looking at analog, but I do have also a digital side of my process as archiving and as then digitizing for sharing on the blog and all of the different places where I'm now sharing work. So here I note that one of the big glows or highlights of the month was getting those plane tickets. I get to go back and see my family in Hawaii, as well as a stop in Portland. Was really happy about getting those categories set up on my blog, although I still wanted to work on adding tables of contents to my blogs, especially the longer, more involved ones. So again, people can find the information that they need more easily. And oh yes, one of my big highlights also of January was exploring a whole bunch of inks. I got ink samples from fountainfeda.de, a fountain pen and ink online store with a lot of fun ink sample options. So I discovered fountain pens last year and got my first samples this year, and have been trying them in the pens, including these two here and the ones in the case that Ayla kindly made me. And it is a blast. It is a wonderful creative outlet. Writing always is, but having that additional layer. I love color and am having more fun than ever writing. So it's a win-win there. And I consumed some really great and also some media. I did really love Funny Story by Emily Henry. Maybe not a 5-star book, but it was enjoyable and cute. And I enjoyed a playlist in particular, my Ballylicious Bar and Dance playlist, to which I also added some new tracks, especially sort of January, February type tracks and videos as well. There's some fun Romeo and Juliet excerpts on there now. And as far as viewing, I guess I particularly recommend A Nice Place to Call Home as a film. That was the first one we watched in the year, and it's a little bit wacky, but also very sweet. And the other films I watched in the month were all right, but not necessarily. Back to Action, Breaking for Whales, I didn't actually really love, and 6888, which actually is a pretty cool film. As far as series, I Remember You. We finished Schitt's Creek. That was a highlight in a low light. I was sad. I hadn't gotten really attached to those characters and storylines, but brought that to a close. As far as nonfiction, creamy. We've also been watching I'm a Killer. And January being a 5-week month, there's a lot that went on. Like I said, I was going for gentle and slow, but nonetheless did a bunch of teaching in that 5 weeks. Of course, we celebrated the new year, had a bit of a staycation right at the top of the year, but did reach out in terms of publishing a YouTube video and an email newsletter, and starting in on my annual reflections, writing a love letter to 25, so reflecting and also looking ahead at the year of 2025. Back, forward, and being present, playing with inks. This is Robert Oster African Gold, so pretty. And getting some holiday letters still in the mail. Lots of fun teaching and learning, again, as I mentioned, learning tango and some postponed holiday parties and sort of birthday party type of things. We played soccer billiards, foosball billiards with friends for the first time, and I did better than I expected. I was proud of that. I like this theme too, with the pine cones and the squirrels and the snowflakes. We did see snow this winter more than I think usual, especially in the 5 years that I've been living. Another big highlight here, buying airplane tickets and the full wolf moon. Drinking chai tea. That's a double tea, but this is a rooibos chai actually, which I find hilarious. Found here an organic tea from the drugstore here in Cologne. It is to experience, this is translated, experience the New York lifestyle. Entdecke das New York Lebensstil oder so. Yeah, hilarious. This week was all about teaching, but then also a bit of protesting leading up to the German election. We did quite a bit of getting out on the street, and that was cool. Now the election is over in real time, so not necessarily everything the one would hope for, but could be worse, I guess. Planning new elective classes, celebrating birthdays again, and celebrating Carnival. Yes, we also got to, oops, I almost forgot, also got to go to a really cool live art opening at a gallery, but also they were making live art through an interactive process between two artists as a performance. So fun. And yes, like I said, demonstrating and partying, a very meaty week, teaching a lot, dancing a lot, and also eating a lot, including at this meeting of the Karnevalsverein, the Carnival Club in Delbrück, which was such a spectacle, amazing, such a great Tanzchor, and music and comedy and costumes, and a wonderful kick-off to our Carnival season, which we'll be continuing to talk about in February, leading into March and springtime, which I'm very excited for. Try to enjoy winter to the fullest with snow and snowflakes and warm drinks and evergreens and reflection and rest and planning. And at the same time, I'm very happy that spring starts to show its first early signs, and I wish you the very best in that time period and process, or whenever this finds you. Thank you for moving with me in spirit or in fact. Come on back soon for more mindful movement and dancing together, as well as sharing the behind the scenes of my creative process, coaching and teaching. Take care of yourself and pay attention. I'll see you here again soon, I hope. Be well.